I want to tell you about the week my business got too loud. Not busy, loud. Too many ideas, too many moving parts, too many quick things to do, too many decisions. And the fix wasn't a new strategy, it was poo. Simple, clear, repeatable. Today I'll show you how simplicity becomes profit without turning your business into a bland little beige box. Welcome to Grit and Grace, the podcast for business owners who want to grow profitably and sustainably without sacrificing their life to their work. I'm Donna, I'm an accountant based in Australia, and this is episode 1 of the 100 Acre Wood Boardroom. Before we begin, a quick note, today's episode is general information only. It doesn't take into account your personal circumstances and it is not financial or tax advice. Please seek advice specific to your situation. Why Winnie the Pooh? After my husband passed away, I reached for Winnie the Pooh. It was gentle and steady. It was something familiar for me to hold when the world just didn't make any sense. And when I read it as an adult, I realized it's not a children's book that you actually outgrow. It's a mirror. And Pooh in particular is a reminder that when life is heavy, complexity isn't impressive. It's exhausting. That's true personally, and it's true in business. Let me describe the week for you. I'm sitting there with the best of intentions. You know the feeling, a fresh notebook, big plans. This is the week I get on top of everything. And by Tuesday, it's already unraveled. Not because I'm lazy, but because the business is full of noise. A new idea lands. A client wants a quick call. Someone emails with urgency that magically becomes my problem. There's a half-finished project sitting in the corner of my mind like an unpaid bill. I'm trying to remember 1,000 details and I haven't written them down properly. And I'm doing that thing we do when it starts to feel messy. I start adding. I find a new tool, a new system, a new offer or a new idea, a new content plan, a new, I should do this or I should do that, as if piling more on is going to make it lighter. But it doesn't. It makes it louder. And here's the moment that changed the week. I realized I wasn't dealing with a strategy problem. I was dealing with a simplicity problem. And that's why Pooh matters. Because Winnie the Pooh doesn't do loud. Winnie the Pooh does clear. A client comes to you with a request and you can tell straight away they're overwhelmed. They're juggling too much. They want everything and they want it yesterday. And if you're a high care person in business, your instinct is to help by adding, I can do that too. I'll include this. I'll throw in that. No worries. I'll make it work. It feels like service, but often it's just complexity disguised as kindness. So instead, I tried a different approach, the Pooh approach. I slowed down and I said professionally and calmly, let's simplify this. What is the one outcome you need first? Not 5, 1. And suddenly everything changed because clarity calms people. And here's what happened next. I could price properly because the scope was clean. I could deliver faster because we weren't doing 10 things at once. And the client felt safer because the plan was clear. That is what simple does. Simple doesn't reduce impact. Simple increases follow through. And follow through is where profit comes from. So the principle in plain language is that complex businesses leak money in invisible ways. They leak money through the time explaining what you do, the time spent rewriting proposals, the time spent customizing the delivery because this client just wants this bit or that bit. It's the time spent fixing misunderstandings because sometimes they just don't read everything you send to them. It's the time spent managing scope creep. It's the time spent in admin chaos. And it's the time spent in your head carrying the mental load. Simplicity plugs those leaks. And when you plug leaks, you don't just make more profit. You get your time back, you get your energy back, and you get your confidence back because you stop living in reaction mode. And this is why I say simplicity is not smallness, it's leadership. Pooh isn't lazy, he's not negotiating with noise. Now, I don't want you to listen to this and think you need to overhaul your whole business today. You don't. The way you simplify is not by redesigning your life. It's by creating one repeatable rhythm that quiets the business down. So here's what I did that week and what I'd recommend. I picked 1 hour and I treated it like it was non-negotiable. Not a nice to have, or wouldn't it be great if I had the time, or if I get time. I made it a real appointment. In that hour, I did 3 things. The first thing is I chose one thing that mattered most for this week. Not 10, 1. The second thing I did was write it down. Write down what I was not doing this week, because not doing is also a decision, and it's often the decision that saves you. The third thing I did was I created one simple standard that removed the friction. One template, one boundary, one system. And all of a sudden, the week got quieter. Not because everything became easy, because I stopped feeding the noise. That's the Pooh effect. So here's your challenge for the next 7 days. One move. Pick one place where your business is loud and make it 20% simpler. It could be one offer that becomes your main focus for now. One template that replaces repeated typing. One boundary that protects your time. One not now decision that removes the mental clutter. But you choose one and you hold it for 7 days, because the point isn't a perfect plan. The point is to experience what it feels like when the business gets quieter. When it gets quieter, you make better decisions, and better decisions create profit. Pooh is a reminder that you don't have to build a loud business to build a successful one. When life is heavy, simple is protective. When business is heavy, simple is profitable. So don't add, don't complicate, don't perform. Choose one clear thing. Repeat it. Let the noise fall away. Until next time, keep your grit and protect your grace.
In the quiet, before the daylight breaks, I'm drawing lines for my own sake. I've carried more than I let on show, still found a way to learn and grow. With steady hands I set the pace, a fierce heart held in gentle space. I won't trade my peace for proof, I won't build a life without a roof. I'll rise, I'll rest, I'll recalibrate, strong enough to do, wise enough to wait. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. I won't shrink back to make it easy, I won't stay small to keep things tidy. I'll speak the truth, I'll name my worth, put roots down deep and do the work. And when it's heavy, I won't break, I'll bend with care, then reset my faith. I'll measure growth in more than gold, in quiet wins and courage bold. I'll lead with heart, I'll honor pace, ambition guided by restraint and grace. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. Let it be simple, let it be true, a steady rhythm pulling me through. When doubt is loud, I'll still begin, again and again I'll choose to win. Not by force, not by fear, by showing up year after year. It's grit and grace, side by side, fire in my chest, calm in my mind. I'll build what lasts, I'll choose my lane, turn pressure into purpose, paint it again. With grit and grace, I'm free to be all I am, becoming steadily. side eye.